Hi everyone, welcome back to the early show with me, Pastor Jinai. I hope that all of you are doing as well as can be expected during these times. Now, before we get on to today's topic, I would just like to thank the sponsors of today's sharing. We have 3 sponsors today, 2 of whom wish to remain anonymous, as well as Chung Bunyi. The first anonymous sponsor would like to dedicate their contribution for all sentient beings to find and study Dharma and to find peace and happiness always. The second anonymous sponsor would like to dedicate their contribution towards all beings' liberation from suffering and attainment of compassion, wisdom and true happiness. And Chung Bunyi would like to dedicate their contribution towards the liberation of all living beings. Today, I'm going to be answering a question about spirits. Sometime last week, someone asked me to teach them how to set up an altar outside of their home because they wish to invite spirits to reside there so that they can propitiate them for help. They asked me if there are any prayers or rituals that they can do and how to go about setting up such an altar. Now, I know a couple of you listening to this will automatically already be like, whoa, stop, that's not such a great idea. But not everyone's aware of this, so I thought that I would give a little explanation why it's not recommended and why it's not such a great idea. Maybe it'll be useful for you in the future if someone ever asks you whether it's alright for them to rely on spirits. Now you know why it's not, or you can just direct them to this video. So let's set the stage. In Buddhism, if you are unenlightened, which means that you are still subject to your karma, then there are 6 realms that you can take rebirth in. You have the 3 higher or upper realms, which are the God, demigod and human realms, and you have the 3 lower realms, which are the animal, spirit and hell realms. Which realm you take rebirth in after your death is dependent on many factors, including the karma which fruitions at the moment of your passing. But one of the realms that you can take rebirth in is the spirit realm. So the first thing to remember is that spirits are unenlightened beings. They are beings who died in other realms and then took rebirth as spirits, and they did so because of their selfishness, because of their attachments, and because of their karma. This is just like how ourselves will take rebirth in other realms once the conditions for our current lifetime as humans cease to exist. This means that spirits are just like humans in the sense that spirits have selfishness, they have jealousy, they have anger, they can be competitive, they can demand things, they can be offended, and they can take revenge. And while some spirits may appear to be benevolent, it is just like how some humans may appear to be benevolent initially. First, we do not know the ultimate motivation of a spirit. Their benevolence may only be an initial thing to draw you in so that they can create a connection with you in order to create harm for you later. Now, there may be some spirits who genuinely do want to help, but even if they give us answers which sound beneficial or helpful, those answers may only be beneficial or helpful in the short term. Since spirits are not enlightened beings, they do not have full clairvoyance, and so you don't know how their advice and how their answers will affect you in many lifetimes down the road. And the help that they give may not be free. It may come with strings attached. Perhaps you gotta do things to keep them happy. Perhaps you gotta do things to make sure that they're not offended. And so all that's very risky. Think about it. For those of you who may be familiar with Southeast Asian mythology and folklore, you'll know about a child spirit called Toyol in Malay or Guikia in the Hokkien dialect. Think about what you know about that type of spirit and what has to be done in order to keep the spirit happy and what happens once they are offended. Think about their characteristics, such as intense jealousy. Now my question to you is, when you can connect with a being that's enlightened, when you can connect with a being that's guaranteed to be kind and compassionate, when you can connect with a being that's guaranteed never to hurt you, when you can connect with a being that's guaranteed to help you with no agenda and with no strings attached, why take the risk to connect with something else that might not only harm or hurt you, but is also of a lesser power? What I mean by this is, if you can connect with a Buddha or with an enlightened Dharma protector such as Doji Shukden who can help you in the best and safest way possible, why take the risk of connecting with and propitiating a being who might be offended and who might seek revenge on you? Why take such a risk? Why put yourself at risk of that? So that's something for you to think about. That's it from me for this week. Once again, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you again to the sponsors of today's sharing. As ever, please stay home, please stay safe, and don't go out if you don't have to. And get your vaccinations. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time on the 3rd Sunday of this month. As ever, have a great week ahead, and don't forget to be kind to each other. Bye!